everybody, Zach is back with another Netflix original review. Today, you guys, we're going to be reviewing Secret Obsessions. I'm going to come right out of the gates and say it. This movie isn't bad, but it's very cliche and nothing really excited me about the movie. If the movie seems super familiar, it's because it is, and it borrows from a lot of other previous better movies. The easiest way to explain this movie is it's the movie Misery, except with extra steps involved. The movie starts off with the main character running away from a killer. As she's running away, she bam, gets hit by a car and gets knocked unconscious. She wakes up in the hospital with a horrible case of amnesia. She can barely remember a thing. She doesn't even remember who her husband is, or if her parents died, or anything really about her recent life. The husband comes to the hospital and meets her there in the room, and he tries to jog her memory about, their relationship, and, if she can remember him or not. As I said before, this movie's really cliche, so the husband actually is the killer. But Zach, that's a spoiler. Why did you tell us that? It's not really a spoiler, you guys. It's kind of like, they don't even try to hide it in this movie. It's really weird. They do this whole amnesia thing, but then they have no mystery, factor involved in the movie, so it doesn't really even make any sense to have amnesia. But anyways, the killer is trying to take advantage of her. He has an obsession with her, so what happens is he's trying to pretend as if they are in a relationship and he's actually the husband, when really the fact he is not. That's the gist of the movie. There's also a third party in this movie. There's an extra additional character other than the killer and the main character. And it's actually the Allstate guy, which is pretty hilarious. You know the guy. Are you in good hands? That guy. Which reminds me, in the beginning of the movie, the woman gets hit by a car, our main character. And I just wanted the Allstate guy to just come over to the side and just be like, she's in good hands. Some stupid shit like that. That would have been hilarious. But no, they don't do that. But I was waiting for it the entire movie, which kind of sucks that they didn't do that, just for a little nudge. He's a detective that ends up kind of finding out by himself that the person that she's with is not her husband, it's the killer. And then he kind of goes through the, the detective thing where he has to find out where she's located. And it sounds pretty familiar already, doesn't it? This is how familiar it is. I'll just go ahead and kind of give you the plot of the movie, right? So, it's about a killer who has a severe obsession with our main character. Our main character gets in a car accident, per se. She's now on crutches and can barely walk. She's stuck inside the house with this killer that has an obsession with her. And there's a detective that is trying to find their whereabouts. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this movie sounds just like the movie Misery. What makes this movie worse compared to Misery is everything. The acting isn't as good. The horror and the scare factor of it isn't as good. The killer in the movie isn't very interesting. He doesn't really, he just kind of has lust for this woman, and it's not really that interesting. He doesn't even go on these really crazy kind of tirades. He's just kind of an angry killer with a knife, It's nothing too special or memorable. What's really bad about the writing in this movie is that the movie is basically Misery, but it has that extra step involved of amnesia. The amnesia part in this movie is actually the bad part in this movie, and let me explain. Us as the audience already understands that the husband actually isn't the husband and he's actually the killer. They kind of establish that right in the beginning of the movie. They don't even try to make it a mystery at all. So we're just sitting there waiting for her to understand that her husband's the killer, and we already know that. It's almost like we sprinted ahead past the main character in the movie, and we're just kind of waiting for her to catch up and get to the same point that we're at. It's like, come on! We already know he's the bad guy, he's the killer, so we're just kind of waiting for her to get information that we already know, and it really slows the pace of the movie. I don't understand why they put that in there. I have no clue. As for example, Misery, the movie, we actually find things out with the main character, so it's kind of like, the main character is gasping, and then we're also gasping at the exact same time, as in we kind of already know everything in this movie, and we're just kind of waiting for everyone else to catch up, which is just boring. I really cannot think of any good reason to watch this movie. It's all cliche. You've seen it 100 times before. They don't do anything better than any other movie. So it's just kind of it's like a Frankenstein version of a movie. It has a bunch of little plot lines that are kind of like other movies, but they don't ever do anything better. So I can't justify watching this movie. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a D. It's not worth watching. You've seen it all before. It's boring. And if you want to watch a movie that's similar to this, just watch Misery, Please, guys, if you like this review, please subscribe and share it. That would really help me out. Go ahead and click the bell icon if you want notifications, because I'm going to be reviewing more movies soon. Hope you guys have a good night, and see ya!